From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fairbanks Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us this evening. Our top story is the weather. A major winter storm has caused issues and outages around town throughout the day. Gusts of up to 50 miles per hour made visibility poor on the roads, damaged property, and knocked over many trees, which were already weighed down by snow and ice. News Center 11's Nikki Carvajal has the story.
Winds at the Fairbanks International Airport got up to 41 miles per hour last night and even higher in other parts of Fairbanks. All around town, siding was blown off of homes and trees were downed, causing major damages.
It was moving pretty good, and I thought, wow. I was thinking to myself, because this cabin here is about 1938, it would have wiped it out. Instead it blew and wiped out my neighbor's car. And I liked my neighbor, but it just seemed kind of humorous. He woke me up this morning and asked me if I had insurance.
Yeah, it is. Look at that.
But the biggest problems were caused by downed power lines.
So trees have bent over, poles have actually snapped, cross arms have broken, and lines have burned up. So it's been a pretty busy night for our crews.
How's it going so far?
Going a little wet.
Crews have been working since late last night to try and get the power up across the interior.
Well, we know we have between 5,000 and 6,000 members out of power right now. We have systems called feeders, which are our main power lines, and at one point we had 16 of our feeders out, which is very significant. We had as many as 10,000 to 12,000 people without power.
While GVEA hopes to have the feeders back up shortly, because of the amount of fallen lines, some residents may have to wait a lot longer to get their power back.
You know, and it could take us as long as 2 days to clean those up, we're thinking.
GVEA is asking residents to stay away from and report all down power lines, but here in the outage room, they're having a hard time keeping up with all the calls.
Our phone lines, we have 69 phone lines that will come in, and they're jammed with calls. As soon as a call goes off, we got another one seeming to come on, so the phones are fairly frustrating for our members, and we're sorry about that.
In the meantime, the Red Cross has set up warming shelters at West Valley and North Pole high schools with hot beverages, and they're encouraging anyone who is uncomfortable with the temperature of their homes to come by.
If there's somebody that has medication needs or they have physical restrictions, they may need to be more warm. So it's really a comfort level, and we're here to offer and make sure that they have that comfort and that they have the necessary things that they need during the short time frame when we don't have electricity.
Nikki Carvajal, News Center 11.
The American Red Cross of Alaska is opening an overnight shelter at North Pole High School. According to officials, they already have several families who are using the shelter and are expecting more as the temperatures drop. Snacks and warm beverages are being provided, but full meals are not. The West Valley Warming Shelter will close at 6 p.m. tonight, but Fairbanks residents are welcome at the overnight shelter if they are still without power. Hazardous road conditions in combination with power outages prompted the school district to cancel schools today. In recent years, school officials have budgeted 3 missed days, which means students will stay in school longer at the end of the year. While most school employees stayed home today, there were some essential workers required in school buildings. The principal of Denali Elementary, Tim Doran, says he mainly greets parents who aren't aware of the cancellation. Thanks to improved communications in recent years, few students showed up.
These events, the district prepares for, and we as a school prepare for it. And the communication system that the district has set up has made a big difference, I think, for families. Years past, it was almost word of mouth, you know, and we depended on TV stations and other communication to get the word out.
Fairbanks schools will be closed for a third day in a row due to hazardous conditions. School district spokesperson Bill Bailey said the decision was made earlier to give parents more notice. Officials were concerned about road conditions and not having enough staff to provide busing, meals, and instruction. Like a lot of businesses and homes, Fred Meyer West lost power around 11 p.m. last night due to the storm. When the power came back on, some of the refrigeration equipment did not. Night crew officials made the call to pull the product off the shelves in fear it would go outside the safe temperature zone. Everything from bagged salad, meat, deli items to ice cream had to be transferred to refrigerated trailers behind the store. The refrigeration equipment is working properly now and some of the product is being restored. Fred Meyer East refrigeration was not affected by the outage.
And there was some loss, and we're still trying to sort out that, how much of it's lost, but our main office, part of the team effort, is putting together an order to be able to send it up to us to replace some of what we lost. Fortunate that we were able to, with the temperature where it wasn't too cold to be able to, and we had trailers out there that we could put it on without being down south. They might have to be concerned about that a little bit more, but we were able to put it out on the trucks, and we were very confident that it would maintain the temperature that we needed to so that we could bring it back in when the refrigerators were working again.
And when we come back, a special event tomorrow for active military and veterans. Also, it's time once again for interior-tainment. Those stories are next. Stay with us. Hey guys, can you fix the prompter then? It's not live. Whoop. What are you guys doing? To the right if you could. Oh, too far. Go back. Go back. To the left. To the left. Whoop. Too far again. Right there. Perfect. I have absolute power. Anchor, good I do. And welcome back. Veterans Day has passed, but UAF has an upcoming event to honor local military in a different way. UAF Veterans Services wants to help military integrate in Alaska, and they will host a resource fair tomorrow from 2 until 5 p.m. in the Wood Center. The event will include organizations such as the Wounded Warrior Project, Armed Services, YMCA, and Operation Military Kids. Organizers say the event is a chance for current military members and veterans to see local resources that are available to them.
That veterans are really great students. You know, they come in here, they're very, very committed to, you know, earning their degree, using their GI Bill benefits, and, you know, oftentimes staying in Alaska, it has a positive impact on the community, the economy. I mean, it's really a win-win for everyone.
One band in Fairbanks has been working hard on their music and even taking it on tour this summer to the lower 48. You may have seen them at different events or danced to their music at the Tanana Valley State Fair. News Center 11's Stephanie Woodard has more now, and that's Interior-tainment.
A local Fairbanks group has been making waves in the contra dance scene. Eel House is the name, and their specialties range from rock to contra.
Well, Eel House has been playing around town now for about 3 years, about 3.5 years, and we kind of started as a dual-purpose contra dance band as well as a performance band, and we're kind of a hybrid Irish fiddle meets meets rock, meets fusion jazz. We like to throw everything into the mix.
Eelhouse recently released an album they've been hard at work on and also had a successful tour in the lower 48.
Went right on tour down in the States with it. Did a small circuit down in the South, in the Deep South, playing for dances. And so now we're back up here and we're trying to bring it to the Fairbanks community.
But what type of music is their specialty?
Eelhouse kind of lives a dual life as both a performance and kind of club band and as also a band for contra dances.
And we spend a lot of time just kicking ideas around and trying things, and that's fun. And we all write music, and we all have really different musical backgrounds, and so when we put it all together, it just creates this new sound that really nobody's ever heard before and probably never will again, so it's pretty exciting.
Eelhouse performs all around the interior for special events, but there is one upcoming event that this group is especially excited for.
Our CD release party will be on the 23rd at the Blue Loon at 8 p.m. You can get tickets at Grassroots Guitar, and there will be tickets at the door.
I'm Stephanie Woodard, and that's Interiortainment.
It's time for our weekly segment, Fairbanks Flavor, and this time Lisa features her pasta with prosciutto and peas. All right, well, actually, that was our weekly community calendar, getting some primetime showing. So now I think we're going to show you this week's Fairbanks Flavor.
Buonasera. Welcome to Fairbanks Flavor. I'm Lisa Gambardella. Welcome to my kitchen at Gambardella's Pasta Bella downtown. Today we're going to make a northern Italian dish called pasta with prosciutto and peas. We're going to start with a hot pan, add some oil, some fresh garlic. Make sure your pan's hot so you get a nice sizzle on that garlic. Let the aromas come out. Just toast it just enough. Then you can start adding your delicious flavors. This is a sweet and salty dish, so we're going to put some caramelized onions in there. Our prosciutto ham is very salty, very delicious, from northern Italy. It's a great thing to keep on hand. Also, some peas. Looks delicious. It smells even better. Now it's time to add some cream. You can also use half and half and let it reduce more. I love the flavor of heavy cream. That's what we're using today. Let that reduce just a minute. Add some fresh nutmeg. And the pasta of your choice. And there it is. A delicious, quick meal, satisfying, gourmet treat you can make at home. Join us next week and look at all our recipes on webcenter11.com. This has been Fairbanks Flavor with Lisa Gambardella. Buonasera, bon appetit.
Brought to you by Gambardella's Pasta Bella.
Buonasera, Joe Cook.
Ciao.
Bon appetit. That looked good, didn't it?
I'm gonna say, is that Italian? Ciao?
Yeah, ciao.
Okay.
Sure. What's going on in sports tonight? Do it in Italian, that'd be great.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I don't think I can do quite that well. But in sports, we have the scores from the first day of the volleyball state tournament. You'll see how our interior teams are doing. Plus, the Ice Dogs have an important matchup on the ice this weekend. All that and more coming up next in English.
No, but I did bang an Italian girl in college.
Well, there you go.
You got a minute 30. sports tonight? How much time?
Nothing actually. Oh, it's pretty straightforward.
All right. Is that over-the-shoulder shot good?
Casimir Kaskiso. Casimir Kaskisko. Sports Mike.
He's on mic 1.
Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook back in Sportsy for this evening. Hope you've been dealing with the weather as best as you can, but now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook back in the Sportsy for this evening. Hope you've been dealing with the weather as best as you can. But now, let's talk some sports. The ASAA First National Bank State Volleyball Tournament started today in Anchorage at Chugiak High School. 3 interior teams tried to get wins in their first round games. In 3A, the Monroe Rams won a tough 3-0 match over ACS. The final was 27-25, 29-27, 25-17. Now, Monroe has a grudge match tonight against the Mount Edgecombe Braves, the defending champs, who gave Monroe their second loss in their last games of the regular season. The Braves had a bye because Barrow had to forfeit. The Whalers couldn't make it to Anchorage because of bad weather conditions. Unfortunate for the Whalers. The Hutchinson Hawks played Grace Christian in their first game today. The Hawks were swept 25-16, 27-25, 25-17. Hutchinson will take on Nome tomorrow at 1 in the losers bracket. In the 4A tournament, West Valley was 3-0'd by South Anchorage. South won 25-18, 25-10, 25-8. The Wolfpack will have a winner-go-home situation tomorrow, if you will, at 1 p.m. They play state tournament host Chugiak with the chance to move on in the losers bracket in the state tournament. And this weekend, the Ice Dogs will host the Minnesota Wilderness. The Ice Dogs will have a chance to pick up points to bolster their second place standing in the Midwest Division and make up ground on the Wilderness, who have a 7-point lead. Some interesting storylines in this one. The Wilderness are currently riding a 10-game winning streak and will come into the Big Dipper with a 14-2-3 record. The Ice Dogs beat the Wilderness 2-1 in their first ever meeting and split that first series. Both teams are balanced and have 5 players with at least 10 points. The Minnesota team is ironically led by former Ice Dog Jacob Romo, who makes his return to Fairbanks. Romo is leading the Wilderness with 15 points this season. They also have the top goalie statistically in the NHL, Casimir Kaskisko. Casimir has the most wins at 12, lost 1 game all season, averages just under 1 goal allowed per game, has 6 shutouts, which lead the league, and has the top saving percentage at 96. But Kevin Aldridge has been standing tall for Fairbanks, allowing 2 goals in the last 2 games. And the D-Corps has been contesting and blocking shots as well. Taylor Munson sparked the offense with 5 points against the Brown Bears, including a 4-point night last Saturday after sweeping Kenai River, who was then number 2 in the division last weekend. The Ice Dogs know they have to put together another great weekend to take out the current first-place Midwest Division team. Assistant coach Paul Kirkland talks about Aldridge's progression after the Kenai wins.
Recently he hasn't had, bounces that he'd like, but I think he's worked hard and he's stuck with it, and he's been supportive of Patrick when he's playing, and he's doing the right thing. So we're really happy for him, and I think it was a good step in the right direction for him, that's for sure.
They don't give up. We got on them in the first periods of both games, and they came back and played really hard. So we just got to make sure we're ready for that. They got a lot of hard-working guys on that team, and they're in first place right now. We just got to keep the momentum going into the weekend and just play our game, do the same things we've been doing this weekend, and we'll come out on top hopefully.
And the winter storm put a dent in some local sports this week for high school. The Hutchinson Invitational Hockey Tournament has been canceled, as well as the Hutchinson Meltdown Wrestling Tournament and all other district activities scheduled for this weekend. And the Wednesday night race series up at Birch Hill was also affected by the weather despite the snowfall. The WN race series delayed its season opener for a 3rd time. The season was supposed to start on Halloween night, but there wasn't enough snow. Last season, there was over $600 in prizes for the racers. The races are 5 kilometers and are a mass start. The WNR has the longest cross-country ski race series in the country, starting in October and ending in April. So hopefully that'll get started next Wednesday. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. For more KTVF Sports, just go to Twitter, YouTube, webster11.com. Stay warm, Alaska, and stay safe out there. Mike Schultz is next with another important weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time. Alaska. Alassa. Alassa. Stay warm, Alassa. Alassa. From Alassa. Alassa. Huh? Oh.
What?
Nothing. Alassa. Alassa.
Hey, Mary. Stephanie says good job. Yeah.
Okay. We are checking the microphone here. It clips on. Indianapolis scored, and then they recovered a fumble on the 20-yard line. So things are turning around. Did you get a mic check okay?
Did you get a mic check? Did you get a mic check all right?
Hey everyone, welcome back into the news. And wow, we can take a breather now. That storm has gone by. The worst is out of the picture now. That's good news. My power is still off, but the good folks at Golden Valley are working real hard. We appreciate their efforts. We'll talk more about what's coming up this weekend in just a little bit. Here's our photograph for tonight. This one's sent in by Barbara Pacheco, and you can see it's sun through the trees. And if you have a photograph to share, by all means, send it to Mike Schultz at ktvf11.com. Well, once again, a reminder, we do have more Fab Photo calendars out there for free. You can pick one up at places like, well, Pollen Environmental over on Van Horn. And again, there are lots of great photographs that you folks have sent in. And again, they are free. How about that? Here's your numbers right now at the airport. 28 degrees. It's gone down quite a bit because the high was 37 at one time. The low last night, 10 degrees before the warm air moved in. 45 in 1976, 37 below in 1956. Our sunrise at 9:25 and sunset 3:47. And the winds are still gusting to 20 miles per hour. Our latest satellite and radar, as you can see, a lot of strong flow still coming out of the northwest, but all of the precipitation is just about past the Fairbanks area. And we're going to get clear skies or clearing skies behind that before another system comes in from the west, but not nearly as strong. So we're not looking too much out of that system. Rain across southeast Alaska, just mainly cloudy skies up and down the west coast, some snow around Barrow, and partly cloudy skies at Fort Yukon. Lower 48 weather tonight, they're getting ready for a big winter storm there over the Pacific Northwest. A little rain falling across the Gulf Coast states today. On the satellite radar, you can see why. A lot of moisture coming up off the Gulf of Mexico. And then we have another system, like I said, moving in across the northwest, all being driven by the jet stream, as you can see, dropping way down to the south, bringing all that cold air in from Canada. In converse reaction, there's rain and wind expected over the eastern half of the lower 48. Back to Alaska for tomorrow, snow showers for Barrow and Nome, mostly cloudy skies at Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at mainly increasing clouds with snow showers possible by evening at Healy, Delta, and Fairbanks, while over the southeastern sections, mostly sunny skies at Juneau, and partly cloudy for Ketchikan. Out to the southwest, it looks like a mixed bag of weather. Snow likely in Bethel, showers possible for Kodiak, and a few clouds at Kodiak, or Colby, I should say, and sunshine expected in the Anchorage Bowl with partly cloudy skies at Homer and also in the Anchorage area. And as far as our kids' weather, once again, we're talking with the kids this week from University Park Elementary School. But tonight, let's hear from the teacher.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Gray, and this is my third grade class here at University Park Elementary School, and we have a weather fact to share with you. Class, did you know that lightning is really hot? In fact, the temperature is close to 60,000 degrees with each bolt, or 6 times the surface on the sun.
And as always, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring Kids Weather. Hey, our road conditions, what can we say? It's a very, very bad news if you're heading out on the States Highway, impassable from milepost 80 to 114, and otherwise very difficult driving conditions everywhere else you look. Keep that in mind if you're heading out tonight or tomorrow. All right, our forecast for tonight, snow showers and winds diminishing, turning colder, 5 degrees for the overnight low compared to 43 at one time last night. 14 for the high tomorrow with much colder and snow showers by evening. And the 5-day outlook, as you can see here, looking at snow shower activity off and on through the 5-day period. Daytime highs will start falling down to normal temperatures for this time of year. The same thing can be said for the overnight lows, dropping down to the minus figures by Saturday night, and then rebounding a little bit to the 0 mark by Tuesday and Wednesday. Wow, what a storm.
Yeah.
We talked about the wind last night, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
It materialized. Yeah.
Believe it or not, I was on the roads at around 10:30 last night, and there was, because of the wind, there were chunks of ice flying up from the road and hitting your windshield. It was amazing.
Yeah, I know. I drove by one post and I shunk right on the car.
Yeah, it was like an asteroid field almost, dodging left and right, and of course the roads were in terrible condition last night. But marked improvement today, though, in
Mother
certain
Nature
areas.
has cleared the trees.
Yeah.
There's not a drop of snow anywhere on those trees.
Yeah, no, it's amazing, but we'll get through it like we always do.
Yeah.
All right, that'll wrap up this edition of our broadcast. We are glad you could join us.
Remember, J.R. Lewis comes your way each weekday morning at 6:30. You can join him for the Fairbanks Morning News and also later for updates during the Today Show.
And we're going to leave you tonight with more of the sights around the Fairbanks area from the storm. From all of us here at the News Center, have a good night.